What if I told you there's a block in Minecraft that can exist and not exist at the same time? Let me explain. Take a look at this desert. In this spot right here, there is actually a castle that is completely invisible. It's only upon approaching it that it starts to reveal itself. This illusion is only possible because of a mysterious block with a simple name, Block 36. It allows for the creation of builds in survival that would otherwise be impossible. It's a glitch that's been in Minecraft for a long time, but only within the past year has it made its way to the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, 2b2t. On the surface, the illusion seems simple. The walls of the castle aren't actually blocks, but instead are maps created to look like blocks. They've all been attached to item frames, which makes it look like a castle. But here's where it starts to get weird. The item frames are floating in midair. In vanilla Minecraft, this should not be possible. Item frames normally have to be attached to blocks, and if those blocks are removed, the item frames fall off. So how have these ones managed to remain floating? The answer is that they're not floating. They are actually resting on block 36. From here, it gets even weirder. Normally, it's an invisible block that cannot be touched, but 2b2t players have found a way to interact with them as if they were physical blocks, allowing them to walk on what appears to be thin air. Trust me, I have just as many questions as you do, which is why the creator of this base, a 2b2t player named Ken, has invited us to come take a look at this strange phenomenon. He's going to show us how Block 36 can be created in survival. Apparently, floating item frames and walking on thin air is just the tip of the iceberg. There's actually a method to utilize Block 36 in a variety of ways. The process of creating it has slowly leaked to the public over the past few months, which is why Ken wanted to show off his creations and experiments before the glitch gets patched. So it's time for us to get on the actual server and make our way out to this mysterious base and uncover the truth about Block 36. I'm at spawn on an alt account right now, but I'm geared up and I'm ready to head out. Now this base that Ken made apparently took 6 months to build. Half a year is a really long time for such a small base. So that means Block 36 must be a massive pain to create. I did a YouTube search and there's only a few videos that go into detail about this old exploit, so it makes sense why not a lot of people know about it and why I've never heard of it before. Well, I'm excited to see it in person for ourselves, and if you're excited too, you better be hitting that subscribe button. Now that we're in the Nether, I have to meet Ken at a rendezvous point where he's going to lead us to the actual base. We couldn't meet at 0-0 because it's a little crazy there right now, so going a little farther out was the best plan of action. We've arrived and there he is. I think he's AFK though, which on 2B is quite dangerous, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Let's give him a little slap just to make sure he's alive. Wake up! Alright, he's here and he just messaged me, so he told me that right through this portal, there are Block 36s right away, so I am really curious to see this. So let's hop in and check it out. Right outside the portal here, the entire ground has been covered in Block 36s that we can't see, and the first weird thing you've noticed is we can walk through this sand, and if you look at Ken over there, he's in it too. And the sand is actually vibrating slightly, so this is already a weird interaction. I'm right-clicking right now, and I actually cannot place blocks at all. I'm trying to place this netherrack, nothing's working, so it appears Block 36 can prevent people from placing other blocks. That's really interesting. Am I seeing things right now? Am I hallucinating? Because this person is walking on thin air right now, and they're not even being kicked by the server for fly hacking, so it must actually think they're walking on something. That's really weird. That was just the portal room. Now we're actually heading out to the base where there's more of this Block 36 in action. But look at this. Even right away, this random item frame is just floating here. That is so bizarre. We're coming up on a bridge that is made out of Block 36s, and Ken told me I have to try and cross this thing, which I have a bad feeling about it. But I mean, it looks kind of weird, I guess, with like the map arts to look like planks. But all right, let's give this a shot. And just as I thought, I fall through. I am not worthy, apparently. Wow, look at that. Just walks clean across it without getting kicked by the server. That's insane. Alright, now how do I get out of this cave? As we continue, there's more floating item frames, but man, imagine if we didn't know this exploit existed. If we came across these floating item frames, it would be the weirdest sight imaginable. I mean, it still is pretty weird. I've been instructed to wait here until night passes because mob spawns in the desert are very hazardous to the build, especially creepers. Considering how long it took to actually make, we don't want a mob to undo all that hard work, so we're gonna just wait here patiently. Coast is clear, so we're heading out, and we're already seeing more and more item frames as we get closer. These are the coordinates. Oh, check that out. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't just build a castle, he built a town out of these things. That is pretty cool. All right. Oh, would you look at that. It was completely invisible. You saw it, it only popped up when we got close. Wow, this has to be one of the most creative builds I think I've ever seen on 2B2T. And the fact that all of those map arts were made by hand, that's wild. Jeez, all right, we have to take a look inside this thing. It probably looks pretty weird from the inside. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like a giant cardboard box. That's wacky. Now that we've seen Block 36 town, it's time for us to head down into the underground where apparently Ken says he wants to show me more of these experiments and then how Block 36 is actually manufactured. This is going to be real interesting. All right, Ken, let's see what you got down here. Okay, now that is bizarre. Floating water and lava? This is definitely not something you'd see in vanilla Minecraft. All right, so we get it. Block 36 allows for the creation of some really strange things, so I'm gonna message Ken right now and see if he'll demonstrate how this exploit is actually done and Block 36 can be created. He's agreed to make one for us on camera, so let's see what happens. This is a really weird setup. Oh, there it goes. What? Look at this piston head. It's not attached to anything right now, but it's still there and it's just floating in midair. And you can even attach item frames to it and stuff too. This is truly bizarre. I've never seen anything like this in Minecraft before. Now he's going to demonstrate how to make an entire row of them at the same time. So I'm guessing this must have been the secret behind building that town up in the desert. The secret of the exploit must be the end crystal explosion. Oh, there it goes again. He's removing the actual piston, but the heads of the pistons are still there. And they're floating and you can interact with them like they're physical blocks. That is crazy. Oh, it makes so much sense now. When I right-click the floating piston head, it actually disappears, so that is how Block 36 is actually made. The server's confused and it doesn't know if this block actually exists or not, so in a way, it's both. Since Ken is able to physically interact with the blocks, he's also able to remove them, so watch as the item frames start popping off because there's nothing there anymore. This is some true magic, man. I've never seen anything like this on 2B before. So now that we know how Block 36 actually works, we need to start thinking about what the ramifications of this might be. I mean, as you've already seen, you cannot place blocks in a Block 36, which could be really useful for anti-griefing measures, but if this exploit does not get patched, I'm curious to see what 2B2T players might actually be able to do with it. It's actually kind of scary if you think about it, but anyway, so that's the mystery behind Block 36. It's just a piston head that both exists and doesn't exist at the same time. Well, hey, if you found today's video informative, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, make sure to follow me on my socials, but that's it. So take it easy, Fit Fam, and stay alive out there.